we're going to look at how we factorise into one bracket. So first of all, what do we mean by factorising? Okay, so what we need to do is identify and remove, if you like, the common factor between the two parts, the two terms here. So the common factor in this case is 5. They both divide by 5. And so that's what we're going to put outside of our bracket, because they both have that in common. So now what we've got to figure out is what's going to end up in the bracket. So one of the simplest ways to do that is to say to yourself, 5 times what would give me 5x? And the answer to that is x. And then we think about the other end, so 5 times what will give me plus 10? And the answer to that is plus 2. So let's do a couple more examples. So here we have 18 and 6. So the common factor, and we're always looking for the highest common factor. So in this case, it could be 3, but 6 is a higher common factor. So we need to take out the biggest number possible so that we fully factorise. You'll see that term sometimes. Okay, so 6 times what would give me 18? The answer to that is 3. 6 times what would give me minus 6n? And that's going to be minus n. So you can always just double check it by expanding out your brackets. You should get back to where you started. So one more example here. So we've got 12 and we've got 8. So the biggest factor that goes into both of these is going to be 4. 4 times what will give us 12x? 3 to get the 12 and x to get the x. And then 4 times what is going to give us plus 8, and that's going to be a plus 2. Okay, so we're going to look at some slightly different versions. So we're still factorising, still into one bracket. Now, what's changed is noticing what the common factor is. So here they don't have a useful common number in common. What they do both have is x in common. Both parts have x in them. So x is our common factor that's going to come outside the brackets. So then it's x times what is x squared. So x squared means x times x, so that's what we're going to pop in there. Then x times what is going to give us 2x. So that's going to be plus 2. So again, just double check it when you get finished. X times x, x squared, x times 2, 2x. So they should reverse. Let's look at another example. Now, here, hopefully you'll notice that we've got a number in common. The number 3 is a common factor of 6 and 3. But we've also got a letter in common because they've both got x. So now our full factor that's going to come outside our brackets is 3x and not just 3 or just x. So again, we need to think about 3x times what is going to make 6x squared. You can split this apart. So 3 times what is going to make 6? That's 2. And then x times what is going to make x squared? So we need 2x there. Okay, then we're going to do the same for the second bit. So 3x times what is going to be 3x? Okay, might puzzle you for a minute, but here's the answer, 1. 3x times 1 is 3x. That's the only number we can multiply by that doesn't change things. So it's not 0, it's not disappeared. If you start with 2 parts, you must end up with 2 parts in your bracket. Okay, so let's do another example here. So we're looking for the common factors. So first of all, we can see that they've got 2 in common as a number, and they've also both got x in them, so that's coming out as well. So 2x times something to get us 4x squared. So 2 times 2 to get the 4, and x times x to get the x squared. Then we've got to think about 2x times something is going to get me minus 2ax. So it's going to be minus, and just think about it, what's the extra bit? It's the a, isn't it? So that's factorising into one bracket.